Now, earlier we highlighted a story on green bonds where the Kenya Bankers Association and the NSC have partnered to raise the country's first bank-supported climate change-aligned corporate debt instruments in the next 6 to 8 months. And now to further talk about that and a lot more other issues developing in the market currently, we are joined by Maurice Odwor, who is the investment manager at Cyton Investments. Thank you so much for joining us, Maurice. Well, green bonds, are we ready for this? Because we're now seeing South Africa and Morocco that are participating very strongly in this. But is Kenya ready for the green bonds?
If you look at the investment environment in Kenya, really most investors lack a lot of the variety of security they can invest in. Especially if you look at now funds that are coming from an environmental friendly point of view, I think this is going to be a new initiative just to give more investors more diverse sectors of more diverse set of assets that can invest in. And this green bond is going to be very key. It's even going to put Kenya in the limelight in terms of environment friendly investment, which I think is a very important, a very good step going forward so that you can give investors more investable universe of securities.
But is there something that probably we do not understand, and that's why it's taken us long to invest in environmental, or do we say climate change aligned corporate debt instruments?
I think just at the same way that is taking us with the launching of the derivatives market, even in this bond, we need to ensure that Kenyans understand it. Even in terms of the investment community, we need to ensure that they know how to actually analyze and do a recommendation on this type of bond. As much as the information is coming out that they're going to do it, but we need to involve Kenya, and most at least it's something that Kenyans understand, that even Kenyans can accept as an investable asset class. A very good example, if you look at now the DREIT that was being done by Fission, again, the information coming out that Kenyans still don't understand, they have not embraced these two items as an investable universe, which now what needs to happen by both the NSC and the Kenya Banker that they'll come together for this security. They need to involve Kenyans, and education needs to happen.
All right. Also, something else that did come up today is the credit officer survey. Now, the credit risk is the single largest factor affecting soundness of financial institutions and the financial system as a whole. And lending is also the principal business for banks. Now, this survey was released by the Central Bank of Kenya, and it does show quite a number of damning factors. The ratio for total loans to total assets for the quarter ended March of 2016 was at about 65.54%, a slight increase from 61.31% reported in December of 2015. In other words, there's been, I think, some change in demand for credit and credit standards as well. Maurice, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so do you think that we are seeing a change in trends when it comes to demand for credit and credit standards in the country today?
Two things that I think we need to put into perspective, especially coming from where we are coming from the year 2015, where the third quarter we saw the spike in interest rates, which again forced banks to reprice upward their lending rates. And if you look at now with the requirement that they're supposed to give in is first, most of these impacts are coming in quarter one of 2016, which are now the figures that are coming out. This coming out as a result of high interest rate that we saw last year, which made banks reprice again going forward. And if you look at that, even again, and the second thing the happening that took place in the Kenyan banking industry in the year 2015, we saw the closure of 3 banks, Dubai Bank, Imperial Bank, and Chase Bank. Though Chase Bank has come back into operation, but mostly Imperial Bank, a number of banks again that had exposure in this bank, mostly they were forced to reclassify the exposure they had in these 2 banks as non-performing. And this again resulted in the spike in the quality of the loan book that we are seeing that come from the central bank. If you look at going forward, what we are seeing that's going to happen again, the interest rate environment is going to be again a large key factor in determining the cost of loans. And this also points again toward the capping of the lending that we saw the other time. If the extra risk premium is going to be the key thing in defining the price of loan, then again, I think we are still very far away from even ensuring that law, if accented by the president, will work especially to the benefit of all banks. If you put all these things into totality, we still, Kenyans where we are, we still need accessible loan and cheap loan, but there's other ways of doing it as opposed to where we are doing it. And this information is a very key indicator of the direction the central bank and the Treasury have been taking in terms of their view on the law on the capping lending rates.
All right. And also when it comes to interest rates, in the quarter ending March of 2016, they say 69% of the banks held their interest rates constant, 23% of the banks decreased their interest rates, while 8% increased their interest rates. Now, of course, we're living in times where members of parliament have passed the Banking Amendment Bill of 2015, and they are actually advocating for a cap on interest rates at 4% above the central bank rate. What does this mean if we are still seeing 23% of banks rather reducing their interest rates and 8% increasing their interest rates, not even going down?
If you look at the banking industry and how banking institutions work, Joy, the lending is the core the core activity of the banks. They mobilize deposits from the members of the public, then they disburse out loans. Yeah. The discrepancy has always been whenever there's an increase in deposit rate, it's always immediate. Whenever there's an increase now, how to suppose to reprice loans, it takes time. Because banks are supposed to give their customers at least 45 days notice. That is that the banks have been struggling with. And if you look at now going forward, a number of banks are just, especially with the 4% above CBR rate. What this law means is simply mean that the extra risk premium for all Kenyans, Kenya as a country, is 4%, which is not realistic. Yeah. And if you look at all this, what needs to happen, again, the central bank started this initiative, accessing information to Kenya, so that now when you go for a loan from Bank X, at least you know what Bank Y is offering just for comparison purposes. But still, a lot more needs to be done to ensure that credit is accessible, and again, credit is cheap, that can be afforded by Kenyans. But I don't think the law of capping lending rate is the way to go.
All right. Now that you've put it that way, let's now talk about the markets. You know, the NSE 20 share index has been dropping time and again, and we're now looking at it at a level of 3,463.59 points. What does this mean?
If you look at the performance of the Nairobi Securities Exchange, again, this has been occasioned by the macroeconomic environment that you are seeing. Though going forward, you are seeing a number of factors looks positive. Economic environment looks conducive for corporate earnings growth. But if you look at where Kenyans are coming from, you're coming from an environment of high interest rates, which again, most investors prefer to put money in treasury bills treasury bills and bonds, as opposed to investing in government securities. What really is affecting the local market is purely interest rate environment, which again still remains high. And if you look at a number of companies that invest that are listed in the Securities Exchange, most of them are banks that respond very fast to macroeconomic shocks. So the period where we are headed, indicators are showing that there are corporate earnings, but we are seeing the depressed performance of the stock market, most again largely driven by the foreign participation that we are seeing, because Kenyan stock market is largely driven by foreign investors, and the shift in the global economic outlook, we are seeing again that one will affect the Kenyan market because it will result to low foreign investor participation, which again will continue affecting the performance of the stock market negatively. But going forward, we are seeing a number of stocks have reached a very attractive pricing levels. If you look at stock like KCB trading at around the price of 32 shillings, look at stocks like Equity Bank trading at 38. All this for long-term investors should start taking positions on different stocks, but for long-term view.
All right, and finally, inflation has shot up. We're now looking at it in the 6-point area. Should we expect it to continue the upward trend, or we think we're going to have it drop down this month?
Because if you look at inflation rate, what happened, especially for the month of July, there's a revision of the pump prices, which affected the inflation rate, especially transport and the food basket part of the CPI basket. And if you look at all these effects came in around 15th of the repricing was from the 15th of July. And again, which means now again, going forward, you're likely to see now more effects coming in, which still will continue affecting the inflation rates. And our view is that we will continue seeing inflation rates going upwards, especially again, now that we are 6.4. It's likely again that the inflation for the month of August will be higher than 6.4. Though it will still remain within the upper digit of the CBK target of 2.5 to 7.5%, but all indicators are pointing to upwards shift on inflation rates.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Maurice Odwor, the investment manager, Citon Investment, talking to us about the latest developments in the markets. And Kenya becomes the third country to go big on green bonds after South Africa and Morocco in Northern Africa. Let's now take a short break. When we return, we are taking you to the counties. We're going to Bungoma County as well as to Baringo County, where our reporters I beg your pardon, Victor Ogale and Robert Wanyonyi are on standby. Do stay with us.